Hey guys, I'm Mike Burns. I'm here at Ocean Air Sports in the rental center, and what we're going to go over today is where to put your mast base in the mast track, because we can move it around and we're not quite sure why we can move it around. When you go back with the mast track, what it's going to do is lift the nose up, and when you go forward with the mast track, it's going to push the nose down. All right, so it's pretty much going to be a teeter-totter. So if you imagine a line right about here, right around your front strap, basically, if you release pressure from the front by moving it back, it's going to make the board come up. And if you push the mast forward, it's going to make the board come down like this. So what does that do to the performance of the board? Well, when it's back, it frees up the nose. So you're going to notice the board's a lot more maneuverable, and it'll help the nose fly higher over the chop. What happens when the wind picks up, if you don't have enough nose pressure on the board, is sometimes the nose will hit a piece of chop and the nose will come up and you'll get out of control a little bit. So if you notice yourself, you're going real fast, but a lot of times, you just get out of control and the nose is kind of flying through the air and you want that little bit of extra control, just tap it forward a little bit. Only move it like a half a centimeter at a time makes all the difference. It just like those tiny little movements. If you slam it all the way to the forward, I guarantee if it's all the way forward like that and you're in some kind of choppy water, every piece of chop you hit, the nose is just going to stick and it's not going to release until right before it hits the next piece of chop. So all the way forward I never ever put, but somewhere in the middle is going to be the happy spot. All right, so if you feel like the nose of your board is sticking and you're hitting the chop and you're slowing down, you're hitting the chop and you're slowing down, just tap the mast track back a little bit until you find that happy spot where it releases, but the nose isn't flying in the air. All right, so you're going to get that all set up. You're going to be sailing through March and through April and through May, and you'll find your happy spot and you're blasting along. But now it's June and there's seaweed in the water, and I got to put on one of these things. This is a weed fin. So what this does is it helps shed the weed off the fin. And now what the fin companies try to do to get the center of effort back forward again is leave a little bit hanging over the front of the box. With a weed fin, the bigger it gets, the more it goes, the center of effort's going to go back. So right now the old center of effort was here, and now it's probably back over here. So what happens, and this happens to me every year and I always forget to do it, I'll stick in the weed fin for the first time, I'll go sail and I'll say, why is my board so sticky when it was so great for the last 3 months? And the reason is because we changed that little position of the teeter-totter again. So now that the weed fin is in, where the center of effort for the fin used to be here, now it's all the way off the back of the board. So now it's giving more lift from the back, and if I leave the mast track in the same spot, the board's going to tend to nosedive a little bit. So when I have the weed fin on, I need to bring the mast track back a little bit, so that frees the nose back up and moves the teeter-totter back to where it was originally when I was having so much fun for the last couple months. All right, so those are your reasons to move the mast track. Everybody's going to have their happy spot, and when you find it, it's going to be great until you switch to a weed fin. When you switch to a weed fin, just bring it back a hair and then the board will be perfect again.